Hello students, welcome to the video on exception handling. So in this video, we are going to see various exception handlers and how to handle the runtime exceptions and other things. So to start with, what is an exception? An exception, we already know that is a runtime error. When a program executes, we'll get some errors which are known as an exception. And this exception will always terminate. An exception, if it occurs, it always terminate because of some reasons. But in MySQL, we have some certain methodologies in order to continue the execution of the program instead of terminating. MySQL provides an easy way to define handlers such as exceptions. So MySQL provides some very convenient way in order to handle your exceptions. And here we have a syntax in order to handle an exception. For every exception, we need an exception handler. So the syntax for that is declare action handler for conditional values and statements. So in order to explain this, what are the different predefined exceptions? So there are two kinds of handlers, action handlers that can be used in this. Number one is continue. The execution continues for the enclosing code block. That is, if an exception occurs, the program won't stop. The program just continues for the next statement that is to be executed, because we gave the action handler as continue. But instead, if you give the action handler as exit, the program terminates. It will not go and execute the next consecutive statement. So this is the main reason why we are using continue and exit. So this continue and exit, which we have seen in our previous syntax, also will be used only for the predefined exceptions. Again, for the user-defined exceptions, we have to use a separate syntax, which I will be showing you in the upcoming slides. Next, we'll see about user-defined exceptions. In order to create a user-defined exception, we have to use the following command. What are those commands? Number one, signal SQL state. That is a command which you have to use, and it is used to mention which kind of exception is there, and we have to provide a number, and this number is a user-defined number. We can provide any number, but it is a very good practice to provide a number above 45,000. So if you provide a number above 45,000, that is very good. Why? Because below that we have some predefined exception numbers. So if you give that, you will get a bad exception number or redundant exception number. Some errors will get. So better to give above 45,000. And the second command is message underscore text. Here underscore is missing here. You have to provide an underscore over here. Message underscore text. It is used to provide message to be displayed. So message underscore text will display the message. What message has to be displayed when an exception is raised. So we'll see a example. Welcome to the practical explanation of exceptions. So in this video, I'm going to just create a procedure. So first I'll create a procedure, and before that I have to specify the delimiter double dollar. So after giving delimiter, I'm going to create a procedure. Create procedure myproc3 some name, and then I'm going to give the in parameter, which is of emp id belongs to integer type, and again in emp name, which also belongs to varchar data type, and then in parameter, which is emp sal, which belongs to float data type, float 4,2 5,2. So I created a procedure over here. After creating a procedure, I'm going to begin. Now I'm going to declare my exception handler. Declare, first I'm giving continue and handler keyword. So this action handler over here, continue handler, is the first action handler in the syntax. For, just see the syntax, it'll automatically understand. Next I gave some conditional statements, conditional values. So here the conditional value is SQL exception without any space. So this is a predefined exception. Whatever exception arises, this will execute, and select. Within the single quotes, I'm giving the error message. Imagine error occurred. some error message I'm giving, and be careful to give within the single quotes because sometimes double quotes may issue some errors. So after that I'm giving a semicolon. Next line inside this I'm going to give insert into, I'm going to insert into the table employee which we have created earlier. So I'm going to use the same table, insert into employee. Within the parenthesis I'm going to give the column names which I've created in the table. There is a EID, ename, and salary. And then I'm going to provide values. In these values I'm going to provide these variables which I've created here. So I'm going to provide emp id, emp name, emp sal. So I've given all the insert commands over here. Now I'm going to give the select statement, select asterisk from, and my table name is employee, semicolon, and then at the end I'll get. So my query is okay, so it means I created a procedure using the exception handler. Now I'm going to call the procedure myproc3, and within this I'm going to pass the values. Now before calling the procedure, I just want to show you how my table is looking like. So my table is looking like this. So this is how my table is looking like. It contains 3 records, 1000, 1001 and 1004, and which contain the salary, so and so. Now if you see here, 1004 you have already over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call myproc, call the procedure myproc3. Now I'm going to insert one new record, 1005, imagine David, and salary like 400. Now when I press enter, see David is inserted without any problem. So there is no problem in inserting David. Why? Because there is no error, because 1005 is some unique number. Now if you see here, again if I try to insert 1005, already 1005 is there in the table. Now if I try to insert 1005 with some other name like Sam, and the salary also I changed to 450. Now when I press enter, you can see there first error occurred message as displayed, and then displayed the whole table. Now in this table also you can see Sam is not inserted, only we have inserted up to David. So you can see here, continue will throw an exception. Even after throwing the exception, it will continue to the next executing statement. So after inserting, we can't insert, that's an error because we have the same number, Sam cannot be inserted. So in this line we'll get an error. After getting that error also, we are going and selecting the next statement, we are executing the next statement of display. So this is the use of continue. Now what I'll do is, I'll just change the procedure name over here from myproc3 to myproc4, and I'll execute this. Same manner I'll give begin. Now instead of continue, what I'll give is I'll give exit. Now you'll notice the difference. When I gave continue, first error message came, next the whole table displayed. So it didn't stop after the error message, it continued. But when I give exit, you just see the change over here. Again I'm inserting, selecting, and now also query is okay. Now I'm going to call the procedure myproc4. Now notice here myproc4 is my new procedure name. So when I call this, automatically you can see here, when I press enter, you can get only the one error message, that is error occurred. That's it. You won't get any other table, because after issuing an error, it comes out, it exits. It doesn't go and execute the further statement. That is the main importance of your exit handler. Now we'll see about the user-defined exceptions. So in this program, I'm going to create a trigger. So before that, I'll just create a delimiter, $. Now I'm going to create a trigger, create trigger. My trigger name, imagine I'm giving it as my try. You can give anything, whatever you want. Next, I'm going to give before insert. So before insert, I want to execute the trigger. On the table name, the same table name employee. On this particular table name, I want to create a trigger, provide on for each row. So for each and every row it has to execute. Next I'm beginning. After beginning, I'm giving if in the parenthesis new. New keyword has to be used if you are going for an insert trigger, which we have seen in the slides in the previous video. So new dot salary is less than 100. Then if my new salary, whatever the salary which I'm inserting, if it is less than 100, then what to do? So I have to execute error. So I have to issue an exception. So signal SQL state, which you have seen in the slides, and after that give a space. Within the single quotes, give some values. For example, I'm giving 46,000. It's your choice, whatever you want you can give. And after that, set message underscore text equals, here I'm passing the value like salary must be greater than rupees 100 something. So here I'm passing the value salary must be greater than rupees 100, and after that just I'm giving end if and then end. Now my query is okay. Now from this, what did we understand is I'm creating a trigger, and this trigger has to execute before inserting the records in the table, and it happens for every row. This trigger will be initiated for each and every row, and after that I'm beginning. In if condition, what I'm checking is if whatever the new salary I'm entering, if it is less than 100, then issue an runtime exception stating that SQL state for that number I gave. This number is your choice. I already said in the slides. It's better to give above 45,000, so I gave 46,000. Set message underscore text equal to salary must be greater than rupees 100. So this is a message will be displayed on the screen if I try to insert the salary less than 100 in the table. So we'll just test it. So I'm inserting insert. First I'll show you the table, how it looks like. Select star from employee. So this is how my table looks like, the previous table, the same table I'm using now. So I want to insert the record, insert into employee values. Now I want to insert the values like 1006 Gopi and some other salary which I want to insert. Now this time I want to insert a salary greater than 100, so I'm inserting 220 first, 220.0. When I execute this, it query is okay. Query is inserted, and if I want to display also, see Gopi is inserted. Now what to do is now Gopi is inserted. Now if I want to insert a record less than 100, so this time what I'm going to do is instead of 220, I'm going to provide 40, and I'll change the number also. I need not give the same number. I'm giving Gokul something 40. When I press enter, see it is saying an error. Salary must be greater than rupees 100. So this is a user-defined exception. So earlier we saw a predefined exception, and this is a user-defined exception according to the user's convenience. And you can see here the number has been displayed 46,000, and that message text has been also be displayed. Salary must be greater than rupees 100 since I provided 40 rupees as a salary. So this is how we can provide the user-defined exceptions in MySQL. I hope so you understood this. We'll get back to the slides. So we came to the end of the video. So in this whole tutorial series, we learned about advanced SQL. I hope so you understood this. And if you have any doubts or clarifications to be done, you can contact me at any time and clear your doubts. Thank you.